what did it take for me to stay in that zone? And these are the secrets. So this is something to look at and consider. Is you're right, it takes work, but there's all these things that can help us to stay in that place. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about storming. The next painting is Subtle Shift, and that's right over there on the back wall. And again, we're going to break through some delusions about spirituality here. So this painting here is very springy, right? It's very green and it's got new colors, and you know, I think it was finally starting to warm up. So I think I was kind of being affected by nature when I painted this. And you know, what I've written in my notes here is that when we commit to a spiritual path, whatever that path looks like.
Sorry, you said green? That one's green?
It's green on the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, green.
Yeah, yeah, I used hookers green in the bottom, and there's
my color's no good.
Okay. Yeah, there's green there. Okay.
Charity checks.
The majority of it's pink though.
Well, pink is kind of springy, like the blossoms.
Yes.
Okay.
Pink is kind of green.
Pink is the new green.
Green. Okay. So I just want to talk about subtle shifts. So again, coming back to our theme. So when we commit to a spiritual path in our life, it's also sort of another delusion that maybe it'll be a lightning bolt or a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or maybe if we meditate for 10 minutes, our rent will get paid. You know what I mean? There's this sort of expectation or this delusion that we start doing this spiritual practice and it'll all work out, which is, in a lot of ways, I do believe that personally, that, you know, we let spirit work through us and things are all going to work out. But I think what I'm trying to express is that we put in a very high request to God. Do you know what I mean? Like, we want a lot. It's sort of our society. We're very externally focused. You know, we want the house and the wife, or the, you know what I mean? We have these laundry lists of what we expect in our physical world. And what this painting taught me and showed me in its process is that being in this place can often just be a very subtle shift. It's not necessarily a big momentous thing. It may be that your life is a little more easeful because you have this practice, or you know, you have this place where you go where nothing can touch that, and no one can take that from you. And so that's what this painting said, is that it can be very subtle. We embrace spirituality and physicality, and we go in this place, and we do start to shift and change. It cannot not happen, but it may just be small things. So just letting go of the big things, and that's made me so much happier, personally. What else did I say? Yep, that's all I wanted to say about that painting. Number 3 is surrender. So this painting. And I talked a little bit about how I started painting it. So I was literally on the ground, and I used really big sky flow brushes, and which are really kind of juicy, thirsty brushes, if anyone's here a painter. And I use liquid acrylics, which are, you know, if you are painting, and you can check them out in the art store, they're like an olive oil consistency. So they're really drippy, and they run, and they kind of let you really play around. And this painting here, and it was one of the first ones that completed itself, in a way, with working through me. It was so easy, and it was so fun, and it threw me off. Like, I think I went and I did the sky, and I have to say, usually when I paint, I'll expect to do anywhere from 1 to 10 to 20 layers, like whatever it takes for it to complete. And that painting just pulled together so quickly, and I called it surrender, because it was just like surrendering, and it was, I finally started having fun. Like, I had so much fun, and I was just like, wow, cool, I like this series. And I was in that spirit place, the sky, and I was like, oh my God. And then I came back because I let go, right? And I went to take care of myself and to stop painting. And then this happened, and I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. And I was like, oh my God, it's where like physicality is meeting spirituality. Like, wow, you know what I mean? So, and it kind of did it itself. So it was just this full surrender of, oh, this is so cool. And none of the other paintings were like that. So again, I love it, like when the artists that know, that do the work, they laugh because they know how much work it takes to really work through whatever you're doing, right? It takes work. So that's surrender. Just surrender that. And then the last one. This is our last piece here. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way because I keep tripping on it and it's not serving us. Okay. So there, that's great, thanks. Okay, so this is a painting I called Sorcière. So that means witch in French for the bilingual ones in the group. Hey Harry, thanks for coming. And I'm gonna change it when I get back. I'm not actually really happy with the drips, but I finished it just before I hung the show. I didn't have time, and I just thought, well, sometimes you just gotta surrender and get the work up. And I want to tell you a little bit about why I named it Sorcière. And I wrote notes on this before I came. So this painting here is about acknowledging the archetype of a witch. And when I say a witch, I think of sort of an old woman, a creative woman over a cauldron that's making things and is an alchemist of sorts. And when we go back in history, these archetypes and these women in particular have been extremely persecuted. So some of us that believe in past lives, and you don't have to believe in past lives to, hear what I'm saying, we know that there were witches burned at stake and women hung for having beliefs or practicing medicine or doing things that weren't accepted. And to be honest with you, I think when we're in creative process and we're in that zone, that in-between place, we are witches or creative beings or sorcerers. And really, that's who we all are. We're all here. We're all here to be creative and be in our creative power. And it's a scary thing. And I think there's a reason why there's been persecution. There's a lot of power in realizing that you can pretty much do just about anything you put your mind to when you go in that place. So this painting here in the name is just really about owning our creative power. And that's what I wrote. I can't think of anything more to say about that. But I think it's an interesting thought to ponder. I'm going to end with a final quote from this Osho Zen tarot card pack. I was pulling cards the other day and I pulled this one card and I was like, wow, this just sums everything up. So I'm going to read this and then I'm going to be done. And just before I finish, there is a list here. If you're not on it, I know some of you do get my newsletter. But if you like what you see and you want to know more about who I am and what I'm doing and you want to get plugged in, I send out newsletter when something is happening, just to let you know. I know a lot of you get it, but if there's a few of you that are interested, that's an opportunity for you. And that's it. So I'm just going to end with this quote. So thank you for participating and listening. So the card I pulled was abundance. In the East, people have condemned the body, condemned matter, and called it illusory. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing that. Sarah, how do I say that? Yeah, illusory? Okay, thanks.
Illusory.
Yeah. Illusory. Harry, thank you. Saying it does not really exist. It only appears to exist. It is made of all the same stuff as dreams are made of. They denied the world, and that is the reason for the East remaining poor, sick, and in starvation. Half of humanity has been accepting the inner world by denying the outer. The other half of humanity has been accepting the material world and denying the inner world. Both are half, and no man who is half can be contented. You have to be whole, rich in the body, rich in science, rich in meditation, and rich in consciousness. Only a whole person is a holy person according to me. I want Zorba and Buddha to meet together. Zorba alone is hollow. His dance has not an eternal significance. It is momentary.